you. All right, the Lawsons are going camping this weekend at Rainbow Falls, which is 288 miles away. They would like to reach their destination in 6 hours. What should their average speed be per hour? Okay, so first of all, I said that for the distance from their house to where they're camping, Rainbow Falls, is 288 miles. And they want to reach their destination. They want to get there in 6 hours. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to write a rate. So yesterday and the day before we learned about ratios, and we can use these two numbers to write a ratio for the miles to hours. Okay, so again, if I write a ratio of miles to hours, what would that look like if it was a ratio of miles to hours? 288 to 6, or 288 over 6, or 288 colon 6, right? So when you write a rate is a ratio that compares two quantities measured in different units. So again, a rate is a ratio that compares two quantities measured in different units. So 288 is a quantity, 6 is a quantity. The different units that they're measured in, one is measured in miles, one is measured in hours. So we could write this ratio just like Josh was telling us, 288 miles, you want to have that word with it, over 6 hours. We're going to be writing them in fraction form today only, okay? So we don't need to write them in all three forms, we're just writing them in fraction form. Alright, so let's talk about a unit rate now. So a unit rate is a rate whose denominator is 1. A rate whose denominator is 1. So the bottom number is going to be a 1. In the rate that we wrote up here, the denominator was a 6 hours. So we're going to change that 6 hours to being 1 hour. So again, I'm taking my original rate and I'm making it so that my denominator, instead of 6 hours, is 1 hour. How could I figure out what my numerator is in this new rate? This is what we're going to use our calculator for. How could we do that, you think? Luke? Excellent. We are going to divide it by 6. So the way that you're going to find a unit rate is you're going to do the numerator divided by the denominator. And if you don't like those big words and you always confuse them, I'm going to make it even easier for you then. You're going to do the top divided by the bottom, okay? Top divided by bottom. So go ahead and turn on your calculator and put into your calculator 288 divided by 6. And what did you get? 48. So if the family wanted to get there within the 6 hours, they would need to go an average speed of 48 miles per hour. Okay? next scenario is we're going to talk about someone that is exercising. While exercising, the heart beats 675 times in 5 minutes. How many heartbeats in 1 minute? So again, the information is 675 beats in 5 minutes. And I want to know how many beats, how many heartbeats in 1 minute. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to set up the rate. Not the unit rate yet, but just the rate. What would that look like? Matthew. Thank you. 675 beats. I like that he included that word with it and he just didn't tell me 675. Over 5 minutes. Now it's okay if you abbreviate minutes with MIN. That's a normal abbreviation for minutes. So since I want to know how many for 1 minute, that is the indication of how we knew that minutes needed to be on the bottom. Okay? So again, I want 1 minute. So we're going to find the missing number. And we just wrote down that to find the missing number, to find the unit rate, we are doing the numerator divided by the denominator. The top divided by the bottom. So again, this is where your calculator comes in handy. 675 divided by 5 is 135 beats. So again, this was while exercising. You should not have a heartbeat of 135 beats per minute if you're sitting here in class. If you are, then you're either really nervous about something or your heart is, it's not good. You all know what your resting heart rate is? Well, I mean, people are different depending on how healthy you are. Sometimes people's are lower than other people's. So. Alright, how about this next situation? Let's say that we are making 4 large pizzas. And on these 4 large pizzas, we really like cheese, we're going to use 14 cups of cheese when we're making them. So I need to figure out, if I know that I need to make 4 pizzas and I have 14 cups of cheese sitting here, how many cups I should be using on each pizza so that they're all the same. Okay, I don't want to make anyone mad because their pizza is cheesier than someone else's or less cheesy. So, again, I want to know how many cups for 1 pizza. So if I want 1 pizza, does pizza need to be on top or does pizza need to be on bottom? If I want to know for 1 pizza, bottom. The 1, whatever you want the 1 for, that's what needs to be on bottom. So even though pizza was listed first, we want to put the cups of cheese, 14 cups, on top and 4 pizzas on bottom. Because I want to know how many cups for 1 pizza. So I need the unit of measure for pizza on the bottom. Do you think it's okay if you end up with a decimal answer? Yes, absolutely. And that's another reason I want you to use your calculators. Okay? So what would you put into your calculator? 14 divided by 4. 14 divided by 4 is what? 3.5. And it's 3.5 what? Cups. You're welcome to put cups of cheese, but as long as you have cups, you're good. Okay, so that means that every pizza we would make, we would measure out 3.5 cups of cheese. Keely. Yes, you will be able to use the calculator for the whole quarter. It's just on DMR that you wouldn't be using a calculator. All right, we have one more example that I want you to have in your notes. And this one we're going to draw a table, okay? Let's say that you go someplace and they sell different size drinks and you want a lemonade. So there's 3 different sizes. They have a 12-ounce size, which is 89 cents. They have an 18-ounce size, which is $1.69. And they have a 24-ounce size, which is $2.09. And you want to know which one of these, obviously the smaller one is the least expensive, but which one of these is the cheapest per ounce? Have you ever seen having to do these kind of things? Like, why do they have places like Sam's Club and GFS where they sell like big items? Like you go and buy a ketchup and the bottle's like huge. Why do they sell things like that? What do you mean if you get your money's worth? Okay. All right, so let's just say like you go to JC, okay? You go to JC and I'll still use ketchup. You go and you look in the ketchup aisle and there's a small bottle, there's a medium-sized bottle, and then there's a really big bottle. Why choose a really big bottle instead of a really small bottle? Better. Why is it better? You have more, it'll last longer, okay? Do you think you ever get a better deal if you buy more? Now, I don't remember if JC has this, but I know for sure like places like Walmart has it and Kroger has it. Sometimes when you look on the shelf and you look on the label, it'll say how much it is, okay? Like it'll say it's $2.09, but then it'll have another number on there that's usually a decimal number, and that's how much it is per ounce. So that you can compare to see, oh, this one's this much per ounce and this one's this much per ounce. You're going to want the one that's the better deal, okay? Unless you just needed a whole bunch of ketchup or whatever, okay? I know sometimes, like if I'm going camping, I don't want to have a big container of stuff. I don't need it. I need something small. So usually the things that are small are not the best deal, but sometimes you need that convenience of having things small. All right, so anyway, back to this example. So we want to find out how much each of these sizes of lemonade is per ounce. So it's basically like finding 3 separate unit rates. So how would I find the unit rate? Anyone know for the very first one? All right, so good. You want to do the 0.89 divided by 12. And that's going to tell you how much money for 1 ounce. No, I don't think that's right. .07. 0.89 divided by 12, you should have gotten .07. Yes? Now sometimes you might need to round to the nearest penny because we know when we have money we can't have anything smaller than 2 decimal places. Okay, so sometimes you have to round. Keep that in mind. It's going to be okay. All right, in the second size, we're taking $1.69 divided by 18 ounces. So how much is it per ounce? .09, good. So that one's a little bit more expensive per ounce. And then the last one, we're going to take $2.09 divided by 24. How much is it per ounce? Yeah, if you round up, it's 0.09. Okay. Now, which one of these then, so we have 3 unit rates over there, which one of them is the cheapest per ounce? This is the cheapest one, right? Which would mean this is the best deal. So we kind of had to do some work in order to find that. It wasn't just finding one answer and we're done. All right, so I'm going to give you your paper now, and I will be happy to do some of the problems with you if you want to get started on it together. If you don't, you can work at your own pace. For those of you that want some more help still, then we can start on it together.